good to have you with us in this edition of the Urban Debate. We begin with the focus on the biggest vaccination fraud that has emerged in our country, a fraud that came to light 5 days ago, a fraud where 5 suspects have been arrested, yet many details are still unknown. Yet the mastermind, the so-called mastermind, a doctor who was arranging these vaccine vials, remains to be on the run. Yet we don't know whether the vaccine shots given to people across 9 vaccination camps in the city of Mumbai were real or not. This is the biggest issue right now. 5 days on, Mumbai police can't tell us whether the vaccine shots that the people got, hundreds of people across residential societies, production houses, college, they don't know whether they got a genuine vaccine shot or not. This information we've not been able to get from those 5 people who've been arrested. It is only now, some time back, that the third FIR in this story has been filed. 9 vaccination camps that turned out to be fraud, yet only 3 FIRs so far registered. Let's go across to Sandhya to get you the latest details on what's happened. Sandhya, 3 FIRs that have been filed. The first one, of course, from the society, the Hiranandani Society that we spoke about and reported on. And then other 2 on, by the production houses that held these camps. Take us through the details of what people have complained in these FIRs and what police is looking at.
So, Tanvi, the modus operandi is the same. If we talk about the third FIR here, Ramesh Tarani's Tips Industries is the complainant. And as per the complainant, on 3rd of June, a vaccination drive was conducted by Rajesh Pandey. Again, a common accused in all these 3 FIRs, and 206 people were given the jab on 3rd of June. And it was only after this particular scam surfaced that they realized that how they also were conned by the same set of accused. They approached Khar Police. Khar Police, after conducting their primary probe, booked 6 people. 4 are unknown in this FIR, Tanvi, and 2 are known, which includes Rajesh Pandey, who was a former employee of Kokilaben Ambani Hospital and was terminated from the hospital once the scam surfaced. And he was the one who used to be a contact point between for the victims. He was the one who used to approach these victims, the housing societies, the production houses, the corporate houses, the colleges, and he used to offer setting up a vaccination drive in their premises. He is also somebody who is the connect between the victims and the other accused. Now, who is the second accused who has been named in Khar Police's FIR, Tanvi? That is Sanjay Gupta, a person who has some sort of background in event management, and he used to look at the on-ground, on-site arrangements related to the drive. So this is the third FIR in the case, with similar sections under IPC of cheating, adulteration of the vial and Epidemic Act, all these sections. But important thing is, as of now, whether it's Mumbai Police or it's BMC or it's State's Health Department, nobody has made any progress in order to establish whether those vaccines were fake or not.
So who is this so-called doctor who went by the name of Manish Tripathi, Sandhya? Seems to be very important and key to this plan, who got these vials, and how is it that we've not been able to catch him or figure out whether these vaccines are real or not?
So talking about Dr. Manish Tripathi, he is somebody who used to run a coaching class he had a coaching class sort of a setup in Charkop's Shivam Hospital, in the premises of the Shivam Hospital, and he had some students. He was the one, according to Mumbai Police, and this is what Mumbai Police has found out and what the rest of the accused have told Mumbai Police, I beg your pardon, Mumbai Police, that it was Dr. Manish Tripathi who used to procure these vials. He used to tell the other accused that the vials are procured from BKC. So it's Manish Tripathi who knows that whether those vaccines were fake or not. I'll tell you why exactly that is extremely unlikely that none of these accused know whether those vaccines were fake or not, and only Dr. Manish Tripathi knows, because the mastermind of this entire scam is already in Kandivali Police's custody since last week, Tanvi, and it is extremely unlikely that the mastermind of a racket, of mastermind of a scam, will have absolutely no idea about a detail as crucial as whether those vaccines were fake or not. So Mumbai police is also claiming that apart from this statement from these accused, Mumbai police is yet to gather any other evidence to cross-check the claims made by these accused. And Dr. Manish Tripathi is still on run. In fact, he also, according to Mumbai police, and they yet to gather more evidences on that. So they are also claiming that they suspect that Manish Tripathi also used those students who used to come to his coaching classes in some of these vaccination drives. Those students were not aware what they were getting themselves into. They just knew that according for them it was just a project which they were a part of as a learning process. But Manish Tripathi, as I said, is still on run.
Okay, before we let you go, Sandhya, a very other important angle, apart from what the Mumbai police is doing, is what the BMC is looking at and what the civic body has done so far. Take us through the details. What has the civic body told us? Are they not trying to find out what these vaccine vials were?
BMC is trying to find out, but what they are saying is that all this is, since all this is very new to them, also, first, they don't have a specific SOP to follow. Second, their jurisdiction is limited, their powers are limited. What they have done, Tanvi, initially they wrote to Serum Institute of India seeking details of 30th of May batch of Covishield, and that was the day when Hiranandani people were actually vaccinated. And now BMC is also claiming that for the other places as well, they have written to Serum Institute of India to get details of those batches. And once they get a reply from Serum, they will get to know whether those vials were actually as claimed were Covishield or not. That's one way they are saying they're depending on in order to find out the authenticity of the vials. The second is they are saying that they will have to wait for 28 days. Then they will have to conduct a sero survey, and on the basis of antibodies, they will be able to make some progress in establishing again the authenticity of the vials which were administered. And for that, BMC has said that the victims will have to agree; they'll have to give their blood samples. But other than these two things, Tanvi, BMC has no other mean, and I'm quoting BMC officers here, they don't have any other mean to establish whether those vaccines are fake or not. And both these are time-taking process. Serum Institute of India is also has not given any deadline that within how many days they will be able to revert to BMC. And also, if Serum Institute's reply is a negative, then again BMC will have to, as BMC said, they'll have to wait for 28 days to go ahead with the next process. So till then, what will these victims do? That answer is not given by BMC or State Department.
Are they supposed to assume that they've been vaccinated or not? And if they're not, will they have to wait for another 1 month, 1.5 months as the police and the civic body drag their feet to find out the truth? Because they can't get vaccinated until the system is, this problem is resolved. Their name, against their name, it says vaccinated in the system. That needs to be fixed as well. So a lot of things that have to be done only after we are able to find out more details, which we don't have right now. Sandhya Gora, thank you so much for joining us with all of those updates. Now, this is the main point. Do people in our country, do these victims of scam not deserve to know whether or not they've got the real vaccine or something fake? If it was fake, what was it? Was it something that can harm their body? Was it something that further complicates their system? Do they wait to get their next shot? Do they not wait? Do they factor this in and then count 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever, to get their next shot? Who's going to give them those answers? As citizens of this country, do they not first deserve to know that? Should this not be priority number one for the investigators and the civic body in the city of Mumbai? If we don't find out what the faults are within this system, how will we plug the holes? How will we ensure that the scam doesn't continue? How will we ensure that more people are not fooled in such a manner? Let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us right now. Vishwas Pathak of the BJP, Dr. Sameer Dalwai of the NCP, Dr. Archana Sapnis, member for the Mumbai Grahak Panchayat, Dr. Ishwar Gilada, infectious disease expert, Ketan Vaidya, political analyst, Dr. Rajesh Parekh, Director of Medical Research, Jaslok Hospital, also joins us this evening. Dr. Parekh, I want to start off with you. Surely there can be some other way of finding out whether what people got was fake or not, rather than waiting to do a sero survey on them.
Oh, absolutely, Tanvi. but none of the methods are completely foolproof. The first and more important thing to do, Tanvi, in my opinion at least, would be to run blood tests on these people to find out if there are any harmful effects of whatever they have got. That I think is important for their health. The next thing, of course, to do is to see the antibody titers in people who received the vaccines. Now, these would give a general idea of what has happened, though not an absolutely perfect idea, because historically it has been seen that people respond even to placebos. The basis of all the vaccine research that has been conducted for a long time, at least over the last 70 years, is to compare the actual vaccine against a dummy vaccine, which we called a placebo. And surprisingly, a large percentage of people, not psychologically, mind you, but actually immunologically, do respond to a placebo. And the crux of any trial is to prove that the vaccine is far more effective than the placebo. Now, this in itself poses ethical quandaries, which have been answered from time to time. Most recently, in an article in the New England Journal of Medicine, where it was argued that those who received the placebo in the research studies, whether they should now be given a real vaccine or not. And there was a powerful argument saying that if they have responded to a placebo, then one need not actually give them the vaccine. And now this goes back to the polio trials, which started modern vaccination, where Dr. Salk was completely against using placebos in his clinical trial. And in fact, he went so far as to say, and I'm paraphrasing him to an extent, that the paralysis and death of every child who gets a placebo will weigh on my mind if we do a controlled study. And he was overruled by the FDA. And the first study, in fact, on polio that was done compared a placebo to the real drug. And then it was shown that the vaccine actually works. So some people will have antibody titers. That doesn't mean that they were given vaccines. But I think the primary thing is to ensure the safety of these people, then to see if some of them did indeed get vaccines. But, if there are any vaccine samples left or if they can be found anywhere, that I think would be a more accurate way to determine whether indeed they got the vaccine or not.
Okay, so a very important part that you highlighted is that to begin with, they have to do blood tests to see if there is anything else dangerous or poisonous that may have gone into their system that needs to be looked into. Even after we do tests on antibodies, few weeks later, you don't know whether it's because of a vaccine shot. Maybe some of them had COVID and they didn't know about it. It could also possibly mean that as well. So without doing the scientific investigation, what are the other ways of knowing? Then we come to that point. I want to also show a picture of the vial, one of the vials that was used. We understand our reporters managed to get access to it, and that vial actually says that it is not for sale. Now, one basic thing is that none of us, if we go to get our vaccine shot, are going to be asking for the vial to be shown to us, for whether the seal is broken or not, or what does it say on the vial, is there, a barcode, is it verified? I mean, people wouldn't, somebody should have, but it didn't happen. So is that something, Dr. Eashwar Gilada, that we can look at system-wise? There has to be a system that tracks all the vials. There needs to be a barcode numbering something to say whether X number of vials have gone missing from a center, or these are empty vials that were then refilled.
Tanvi, thank you very much for being in the panel. What Rajesh spoke is a long-drawn process. What has to be done in such kind of crime is bringing forensic in picture as early as possible, bringing FDA in picture as early as possible, making a polygraph or a lie detector test on those people as early as possible. Only then you can get to the crux of it. Secondly, you compare this vial with whatever existing vials are there of the same batch. Thirdly, it is also possible that some vials gone missing from government setup where it is for government supply. You must have noticed once in Agra, they found 10 vials which were 10 syringes which were filled in, and they were thrown in the dustbin, and those people were given certificates. So it is possible that some people who wanted certificate but did not want to take vaccine. Such vaccines are lying. So I think we have to work 24/7, find out from those people who have been involved in this thing, do polygraph test as early as possible, and that is the only way at present. The other process, as Rajesh has explained, is a long drawn process. You need to check whether I don't subscribe to the theory of placebo working in this case, because placebo controlled trials are done all over the world on this vaccine. But if we have to look at that, if 390 or 370 people have been vaccinated, they will not be half placebo, half this thing. They'll be all given either some fake product or real vaccine. So we don't know. Secondly, everybody said that nobody had got any kind of symptom, any neither fever, no chill, nothing. And that is impossible with Covishield. With Covaxin, yes, a lot of people did not get any symptom. But with Covishield, barring a couple of percent, everybody got something, including myself. So I don't think that if people are not getting any symptom, it is Covishield.
Okay, now you're right. In the first set of people, the ones that we managed to speak to from the residential society, many of them said that they didn't get any side effects.
If
so
I may,
the hope may be that okay, they didn't get anything at all, or at least then we know that they haven't. We are not siphoning off vaccines or stealing vaccines without the system discovering it. If that's indeed the case, for 9 camps, if you manage to get hundreds of these doses, then that's a separate big concern. Before I go to our other experts, yes, Dr. Parekh, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I do, Tanvi. I think we have to decide whether we want to take the approach of a compassionate doctor or that of a detached policeman. The forensic investigation is what a policeman does. As a physician, what I think is far more important is the safety of these people, and that's not a long drawn process at all. Within 24 hours, any decent laboratory will give you the liver function tests, will give you all the blood parameters, and the antibody titers can be available in 48 hours. I had mentioned the caveat that it's not always the most reliable index because of the placebo response. And incidentally, placebo studies time and again over 70 years have demonstrated that even side effects occur with placebos. So what we can be sure of is whether these people have been harmed or not. And that would be my principal concern as a physician, rather than trying to incriminate people. That's a secondary process. That process, in my opinion, is far more long drawn than, as Ishwar has implied, in just doing safety tests on these patients and looking at antibody titers. And there are, of course, ways of doing it. We can also look at people in the neighborhood who have not received this vaccine. There are various ways of doing it, but it's not rocket science, Tanvi. It's a very simple process, can be completed in 3 days.
Okay, no, fair enough. So there are these two options that need to be looked at. The highlight is, the takeaway is, Dr. Sameer Dalwai, neither of the two methods, neither of the two options are being taken up. The only thing that has come as a response from the BMC is that we've written to Serum Institute to ask them about these vials, and we are waiting for whenever in a sarkari way, the letter gets sent and a reply comes by snail mail. The second thing is that if you ask the government, they say, we don't know all the minutiae details. The police is doing its job. It's been 5 days and people are wondering which are these societies, which are these colleges, was our society one of them? Did I get a shot which is real or not? You don't want that kind of anxiety amongst people.
Good evening, Tanviji, and you're right. The real problem here is that it is creating a lot of anxiety, and possibly the worst thing is, again, it's going to bring about the discussion of the word vaccine in a not a very positive way, and that's the last thing we needed. As we all know, this is unfortunately a very heinous but petty crime where some petty criminals, let's not even call them doctors, because the criminal mentality overshoots any other profession or any other qualification they may have. They've taken advantage of almost a kind of an anxiety or paranoia in the common citizen's mind, and have gone ahead, misrepresented esteemed hospitals and fooled and cheated people into taking something that is playing with their lives. I agree with my dear senior and friend Dr. Parekh that yes, it could be a hazard to their lives. Fortunately, it's been about 20 days, and one of the colleagues who works with me at New Horizons actually stays in that complex. And fortunately, nobody's developed any symptoms. I'm not sure how many of these people would be ready to undergo tests, to give their blood to undergo tests to see whether anything else has gone wrong, especially when they don't have any symptoms. And we know people would generally not prefer to get themselves tested. Having said that, fortunately, it's fortunate that nobody has developed any complications. At the same time, what we are trying to establish is what exactly was the modus operandi of the criminals who have been apprehended. The masterminds are still being looked for. Once the investigation is complete, and while it's in the middle of it, it would not be appropriate to comment on that. But the most important message is what you are carrying in the runners below is the process. Know the process, what you're carrying as a tickers below on your screen. Is that the societies have to know the best way to do is to contact. I work at Nanavati Hospital as well. And it's the very strong drive being done across the city, across the state by them, as well as Fortis, as well as Ambani and some other hospitals. The ideal thing would be to get in touch either with the BMC or with the hospitals themselves, and not by somebody who claims to represent them. This one small step where we are looking at convenience, and we honestly believe people, has ended up cheating so many people. What is worse is it may keep them for a month or the last few days from getting the actual protection of the vaccine.
Dr. Dalwai, while we are putting out the information as hospitals are now doing so, that's secondary, and that's a very, very dangerous slippery slope to take, because the minute you take that path, then you're putting the entire onus on people, and that's not done. That's not fair. There is an employee of an hospital who was part of this system. You know he's managed to access it. There is apparently some doctor of some kind who's on the run. You said it yourself. These are petty criminals. And the Mumbai police, one of the best police force in this country, can't find this petty criminal?
Absolutely. So, well, like you said, 6 of them have been apprehended. 2 of them are still at large. I'm sure we'll be able to nab them. As you said, the Mumbai police is very competent. And as soon as they are nabbed, we will be able to trace what exactly happened here. And then if any remedial measures need to be taken. But the fortunate part is none of them seem to be suffering from at least any errors of commission at the moment. They don't seem to have any symptoms. And I'm very happy about that. But what is important is the process, again, that any society, any corporate or company which wants to organize these drives is well warned now to go through the right process, because that's the right way that they can also ensure their own safety. The government can only put up the appropriate places where you would be getting the appropriate vaccination with all the due care. Maharashtra government at the moment has a facility to give 10 lakh vaccine doses a day. Of course, it all depends on how many vaccines we get from the center. But having said that, if somebody is organizing their own drives, they should take the safety of the people whom they are including in their drive by making sure they go through the proper process.
Mr. Vishwas Pathak, you know the Mumbai police, 9 different camps, only 3 FIRs. Are you satisfied with this pace of investigation? The BMC isn't even doing an audit of the vaccine centers to find out if there is a breach of security there.
Tanvi, these are 9 known cases, but there may be more than 9 also. So what has happened since this government is there in Maharashtra? Home Ministry has always been a very dull in the functioning. I appreciate the working of Mumbai police. They are next to this UK police, Scotland police. But what has happened now? Home Minister was not trusted by his own deputies, police commissioner. All known criminals were inducted in the police force, so that there is no any control. There is a law and order situation in Maharashtra. And therefore, such culprits, such people, they take disadvantage of the situation and try to make money. Now, we don't know whether that vial was authorized vial, medical staff was authorized, what they have injected, we don't know. It can be any other material also. Just because that there are no any symptoms of negative impact, we cannot leave them like that. We have to immediately go after each and every person who has got that injection vial. And I think this government needs to work very fast. The 5 days have gone, nothing is happening. And I'm afraid there could be many more such societies wherein such middle one claiming that to be a part of the big hospital are taking undue advantage.
I am really amazed at the pace of this investigation, Mr. Ketan Vaidya. We are not even trying to find out if there is a loophole. We are waiting, and every single day means hundreds of people are wondering whether they should go and get their vaccine shot, whether they should continue, hiding in their homes, not go out for their work wearing a mask because they don't know if they have the protection of a vaccine or not.
Well, there are some important points that need to be focused in this. One is, of course, the safety and security of all those people who have taken the vaccines. Because whether they were placebos or they were adulterated vaccines or they were normal vaccines, and there was some middleman that or some misdealing that happened. So first of all is that, and second is like also Samir Dalwai hinted that this is a larger systemic problem. See, and one needs to see that problem in that light. There is an extreme paucity of vaccines. So there are many fly-by-night, as you can say, or overnight social workers, allegedly even some local MLAs, some community leaders. They are organizing vaccination camps. And are they following the right protocol of procurement of vaccine? And this also points to the larger question that till March or April, only 3% of Indians got vaccinated. We had a gross undersupply of vaccines. And now we are trying to get supply of vaccines. So on one hand, people are going from pillar to post to procure those vaccines. On the other hand, there is a gross, how do you say, macro mismanagement of the whole vaccine process. Right now, I see the states and center are speaking to each other. Yet you find West Bengal, Maharashtra, and there are many other states who are still asking for more and more vaccines. So what should have happened ideally is that the center could have taken onus of globally procuring the vaccine, and the state.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. This has nothing to do with center/state globally procuring vaccines. At the end of the day, on ground, it is the state's responsibility. You say MLAs are holding camps. Where is the accountability from where they are getting the vaccines? You're right. There are builders, there are corporates who are getting it, even though there are none at the government centers. Where is the accountability? Who's going to do that? The state is supposed to do that. The civic body is supposed to do that. Center sitting in Delhi is not going to do that. No, Mr. Vaidya.
Absolutely. However, the target is the people. The people should get vaccines. I don't care whether which MLA gets the browning points or if there are social workers who are trying to earn, how do you say, fame in their society. That is not the problem. The issue here is whether people are getting the vaccines that they need the most, and is there a process followed, and most importantly, are they getting administered fake vaccines? If there are fake vaccines,
no, it is a problem, because then you don't know whom to trust or not. It's the same point. If there are third parties become involved, if groups, social activists, politicians get involved, then you are not following the system either. And then you don't know what vaccine you are getting is real or not. It's the same as saying, don't take it for granted when a hospital employee tells you, I am the PRO of the biggest, most reputed hospitals in Mumbai. I know the details, I have the vaccines, and I will come to your society and give it. Why should people not believe that? We are putting the onus on those society people for being fooled. So who's going to fix this system? That's the point. Archana Sabnis, don't people have a right to know what they are getting, whether it's it's real or not? And we're forgetting that part. The first response 5 days ago and even today, Dr. Sabnis, has been that people should have known better.
Actually, I have been going through whatever is said by Dr. Potham and Dr. Samir Dalwai. See, I am not concerned about whether the antibodies are formed or whether there are any symptoms. Now just tell me, do the consumers have right to safety, right to health, right to information? There is gross violation of all these consumers' rights. There is right to safety, even if antibodies are formed in my body after a fake vaccination or after a placebo effect. Do I have any right to safety? can I say that whatever I have paid for, I must get that thing only? So government cannot say that we are just trying for that. No, it is a responsibility of the government, and government should punish the wrongdoers. Not only that, see, the gullible consumers are taken for ride everywhere. And even if there is no physical injury, there is definitely psychological injury. Now consider the students who are getting these fake vaccines and they are on the way to their US university or somewhere. What will happen to them? Are they going to lose their final one year or a term because of this fake
Right.
vaccine? So who is going to be responsible for this? Not only that, government should take steps to stop all this nonsense, but they should penalize and they should also compensate the consumers. Why every time consumer has to suffer?
Yeah,
And
you raised a very important point. Not knowing, Dr. Samir Dalwai, not knowing. What if there is a student there who needs to now travel abroad, doesn't know, his certificate says you've gotten it. I mean, and I wanted to show those certificates, the kind of job that has been done. People wouldn't even realize it's fake. I mean, not that we have the experience of knowing what's a real certificate and what's a fake certificate, since it's everybody's first time getting a COVID vaccine. But in the name of multiple hospitals, with all your details, certificates being sent across to people, how do we now ensure that those people are vaccinated and are able to get to work or travel abroad if needed?
Absolutely. I mean, as a doctor, pediatrician, my heart goes out to what Dr. Archana Sabnis mentioned about the students more than everything else. They've suffered so much. I mean, at the end of the day, the certificates, I'm sure that is when they realized that they were being conned, because they realized that the certificates were from two different hospitals. And I'm sure they were fake certificates and there were different dates as compared to the date on which they were vaccinated. I think that's the point at which they realized that this was a con operation and not a real one. My only plea again and again would be that there are two elements here. One is there would be some, I would say, evil and despicable elements here who try to make money out of such a situation. It's not a situation only about the hundreds of people who have been given that false vaccine or the false injection, let me say, but the attitude to take advantage of an entire nation or people who are so paranoid about the situation right now. And the other aspect is, at the end of the day, the government has made it amply clear that there are authorized vaccination centers or units and authorized hospitals where due care has been taken to authorize those hospitals. And for the convenience of people, these hospitals which have been authorized have also been authorized to conduct these camps. It is pertinent now to make sure that we follow this process so that nobody else steps in and tries to make a quick buck and put everybody's life as well as mental health at so much of stress.
Let me go back to our experts as well on this, and to you, Dr. Parekh, first. To your mind, what are the various parts of this entire process that need to be checked and plugged in if there has indeed been a breach? For example, obviously the hospital's database was accessed. They used genuine IDs of some other beneficiaries on those superimposed these, and these certificates have come as if they've come from CoWIN portal. So we don't know even if the portal itself has been in some way compromised.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tanvi. You couldn't have said it better. But let me first reiterate that the overarching theme is the safety of these individuals. We've established that. Now, if we step back a little, there are larger issues at hand. One is the credibility of the entire vaccination program. You know, anti-vaxxers have had a field day for the last 200 years, ever since Jenner found the smallpox vaccine. And this is only going to give them greater fuel to go on with this inhumane talk of being against vaccination. Second is the credibility of the Indian vaccination program. Our entire effort has been under a cloud right now internationally. We've fared disastrously in terms of protecting our people. Now, are people going to even question our certificates? To talk about the hypothetical student that was spoken about a little earlier, how valid is this certificate going to be? At what point are countries going to say that we don't accept these certificates anymore because you're putting our own people at risk. And then finally, Tanvi, there is this interesting intersection of the ethical, the medical, and the legal aspect. And at the center of that intersection, excuse me, is that we need to look at the safety of these patients, because only then we'll know whether the crime is the lesser one of theft, that they actually stole vaccines and gave it, which puts a different direction to it, or is it of something bordering on voluntarily or involuntary manslaughter? Because to give people fake vaccines is not just a question of the fake vaccine. You're endangering the lives of these people, albeit indirectly, because in the false security that they've been vaccinated, they may relax whatever precautions they're taking, and they may in turn be vulnerable to COVID-19 and to disseminate it amongst other people. So that's a far larger crime. And therefore, if, as I've said earlier, we begin with the medical aspects, look at the safety of these people, find out what they got. Simultaneously, this is not the work of doctors. Let the police department, criminal department find out where they got it from and pursue that, so that the patients are safe, the surrounding people are safe, and more important, the credibility of our national vaccination program and the general vaccination program are not compromised. So we need to find out where that area of breach was and plug it immediately, as you've suggested.
900 people so far that we know, only basis the 3 FIRs that have been filed. 900 people across only 3 locations, 390 in one, 151 in the other, and about 250 in the third one. There are 6 more to go that we know of, Mr. Vishwas Pathak. So we are actually saying over 1,000 people for sure have been duped in this manner. Why is your party not taking it up in a more serious manner? Where are your party MLAs not going out there, speaking to people, figuring out what happened here, putting some pressure on the government and civic body?
See, much has been discussed by our experts. They have explained what is to be done now, having come across this kind of situation. However, I want to ask our friend from NCP that what precautions and what preventive measures this government has taken. The false entity or false identified actors and actresses were taking vaccines in somebody else's name. So many cases were there, and time and again our all public representatives brought this before the police authorities and this government. But nothing has happened. About this also, how people can dare to misrepresent and give any kind of vial saying that it is a proper vaccination. This shows that there is no control on the machinery. Police and all that, they are not at all effective because of the lackluster approach by this government. Home Minister is not yet in control. First, Home Minister has already resigned. Police force is fighting among themselves. And because of that, such miscreants are taking undue advantage. And our party has been taking up, we're coming on streets, and we'll take it further also.
Dr. Dalwai.
I think that was a good attempt by my friend, Dr. Vishwas Pathak, whom I know to be a very reasonable and sensible person, because there is really nothing much that can be made as a political battle out of this unfortunate situation. I again say it is fortunate that after just the first dose, this has come to light. Nobody expected, let me say this frankly, not as somebody belonging to a political party, but as a doctor, nobody in their wildest dreams would have thought somebody could go ahead and do such a terrible thing. Now that we know about it, it's very important that the BMC has already issued a notice saying that they would not advise anybody to take vaccines unless the BMC certifies it, unless there is a BMC doctor there. I would also urge anybody coming across this program right now, if they have any doubt, please contact the hospital from where you have taken the vaccine and confirm it. It's better to confirm twice than to be worried. The final thing I would like to say is, for God's sake, let us not play it up such, as Dr. Parikh said again, that it creates doubt in the minds of the people about the true vaccine. Look at the problems we are facing. We are barely getting through the second wave. There are fears of a third wave. We do not have enough vaccines. I was just watching Dr. Paul on your channel the other day talking about how desperately they are trying to get the adequate quota of vaccines. Maharashtra government, fortunately, at the moment, has a situation where we can give 10 lakh vaccines a day. I don't want to make this a BJP versus anybody else issue. Let's try and get our hands on the right vaccines. The government is already set up enough authorized centers where we can vaccinate the people. Let's all calm down and make sure we are getting our dose at the right place, because we need the vaccines and we need to take them in our arms.
Yes, but the only part, an entity that seems to be calm in this seems to be the investigators and the state, Dr. Dalwai. That's the problem.
Not at all.
People
Not at all,
people
but
are
at the same
anxious.
time, they cannot
People are
overplay.
anxious. 3 FIRs a month after these fraud camps were held. Most of them were held in the first week of June. We are still carrying out prelim investigation in the rest of them by individual police stations. We don't even want to do a consolidated one so that the teams come together and start investigating. Each police station is doing its own investigation. 6 of them are still in prelim stage. They've not even filed an FIR. Then what is this?
Tanvi, the scam came to light on the 16th. The BMC has taken it on the 17th. People have been arrested. We cannot do third-degree torture methods just to come out with that. It will take its due course. Do you think anybody in their right mind, whichever department of the government they are, whichever political party they are, will ever allow this to go unchecked, will allow this to go unpunished? You think so? Not at all. How can we ever permit such demonic things to go on?
I don't know, but the delay makes me ask these questions.
But at the same time, it's going to
I don't know, Ketan Vaidya,
days.
but the delay makes me ask questions. I don't know who's involved in it. I don't know where the link lands. I don't know where this connection really lands.
And I'm willing to say that but I hope not. That it could be a much deeper scandal. We need to get to the bottom of it.
Yes,
We
okay.
need to find out where exactly this is happening. So rather than just put up somebody in front of the public and say that, okay, these were the guys who did this, it might end up covering a bigger problem. Let us go to the bottom of it and find out each and everything that happened. It might take 2 days more, but let's come out with the complete details, because it is not only about the crime, it's about the entire confidence that the public needs to have in the vaccination program right now, and that's what is worrying me the most.
Yes, Ketan Vaidya.
No, just for argument's sake, if we think that the vaccines were genuine, even then, where has the slippage happened? And if there is a larger slippage of vaccines happening, so I think the manufacturer, the hospitals where it is getting, and supplier, these chains need to be tracked properly, because at the end of it, the opposition and my good friend Vishwas Pathak will exert full force and pressure on the government. The government might go a little faster on the investigation. However, we will just get small fish in the larger scam. If there is a larger scam, there is larger slippage of either a fake dose, an adulterated dose, or placebo vaccines, then the larger problem needs to be looked at, and hence we need to get to the bottom of that problem, rather than just hunting and arresting a small fish, which also needs to be done.
Mr. Vishwas Pathak, do you want to come in?
Yes, certainly. We as a opposition party, we have been very vigilant. All such kind of activities which is happening within Maharashtra or Mumbai, we are taking up with the government. We are going to the governor also when government is not acting upon. I think we are very vigilant party. But point of the matter is that this government is busy in just fighting their own battle. Some are saying that we'll fight election at our own. Some are saying in BMC we'll fight with BMC, NCP. So this kind of situation is really creating a ground for such miscreants to take undue advantage of the situation.
Okay, I want to ask this one last question to our experts and go back to Dr. Gilada on this. Dr. Gilada, again, system-wise, I am just hoping these were simply water or glucose, water or whatever in these vials, and the problem then is limited to theft of identity, IDs and certificates, which by itself is a big issue. But 2, if it indeed is that some amount of genuine vaccine vials which were in the system were siphoned off, then what needs to be the immediate response of the government to start looking into it? So far, we are not even auditing these centers.
Tanvi, firstly, I would like to tell that there may not be any injurious thing in the vaccine, because their intention was to make money rather than to kill anybody. And nobody has died till today. Nobody has been taken ill. Nobody has got any symptoms. So it's either a fake thing or maybe a Covishield. Secondly, I would like to go to a base of it. There are 12,50,000 MBBS doctors in this country, not counting Ayush. There are 4,50,000 postgraduate doctors. The vaccine can be given anywhere in Mandir, Masjid, Gurudwara, in Samaj Kendra Hall, or in ground, but not in doctor's clinic, not in nursing home. And we have been telling for last 4 months, 5 months, that vaccination should be there at doctors' places, in all clinics. And what is the rocket science in this vaccine? All the doctors have any kind of antidotes if some reaction happen. They always maintain adrenaline, hydrocortisone in the clinic. So what is happening since beginning, that the social work has become a profession, then profession has become a business, and now scandal. Now, if you look at total unpredictable atmosphere, human beings are unpredictable, the virus is unpredictable, the vaccine, what you call testing is unpredictable. You see in Kumbh Mela what has happened, lakhs of certificates are wrong, Remdesivir is unpredictable. So I think if you take action at one point of time, the next time people will not dare to take any wrong thing. You are not taking action. What has happened to the Remdesivir, which were fake vials? What has happened to the fake certificates? So I think there are few policy makers and there are a lot of policy breakers. And policy makers are very slow, policy breakers are very fast. We need to look at this ground reality. And unless until we do that, this kind of scandals will keep on happening. And this country will be called a country of scandals.
You know, and look at, on one hand, one of the accused who has been nabbed was actually trying to run away. They tracked him down in a train, took him out of the train en route already out of Mumbai, and they got him back. Now, if that is the intent, how are we not able to find this so-called key mastermind who was arranging these vaccines? These are not some hardened criminals with great experience of dodging the police system, or especially the Mumbai police. We should be able to get them quickly. Only if we recognize the seriousness of this crime, only if we recognize the urgency of finding the truth, because there are hundreds of lives at stake, their vaccination is at stake, will we actually press on the pedal and move on aggressively? I think that is what is lacking. The investigators are not realizing. For them, it just seems like, oh, pani ka injection deke, paisa leke bhag gaya. But it is not that simple. It's an extremely dangerous crime that has taken place, with thousands of people being fooled in this city, and we don't know how big the scam scale may be. Completely out of time, but thank you so much to our panelists for joining us on this right now. Few questions that we still need answers for. And the state really needs to understand why this is serious and pressure the police to, while doing a good job, an efficient job, to still do it with all of their energy and focus. Prioritize this. If cops claim 9 camps were held, why have only 3 FIRs been registered so far? At least register FIRs. At least combine these teams so that they together share their intel, share the information they have found, and speed up this investigation. 3 days ago, we got our first set of people arrested. We still don't know whether the jabs are genuine or not. How much time does it take? If 5 days ago you found out and you got a picture of this vial, how much time does it take to check with Serum Institute on whether these vials are genuine or not? Did they have genuine vaccines? What is the source? Where did they come from? Where were they distributed? It's all supposed to be recorded. There is a database available. It shouldn't take this long. How did a gang manage to steal data from hospitals to make fake certificates in the name of the centralized system? Have we even taken it up with the center, with those individual hospitals, to give us an explanation here? Was staff at private and government hospitals involved? They say not as of now, but are we even looking into that? These are the questions that we need answers to. Thank you for joining us.